Hi, I'm Anastasia Chatzka, a fashion designer with over 20 years of experience and a sewing educator. And I'm really excited you're here to share another sewing adventure with me today. Welcome to Sew Anastasia, and today we are going to create a mitered corner. You might notice a mitered corner on the inside of your sport coat where the little button flap is, or you might also notice a mitered corner on your napkins. I feel like those are probably the most common places you would see a mitered corner. If you're not already a subscriber to Sew Anastasia, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when all of my new videos come out. Also, right now I'm teaching virtual sewing lessons. So you can pick your very own project and you can register and pick your time, and then I can help you with your sewing project from my studio to your sewing room. So cool! Information and how to sign up is going to be down below. Okay, so let's miter a corner. The first thing we need to do is a little bit of ironing. So I've got my ironing board and my iron all set up. So let's come down here and do a little ironing. I'm going to be using this small piece of fabric to show you how to create a mitered corner here. So the first thing we need to do is fold up our hem allowance. So I'm going to be using 1 inch, so go ahead and grab your seam gauge and let's go ahead and iron this side down 1 inch. Now we want to also do the other side 1 inch. Make sure both sides ironed up where your corner is. If you're doing a napkin, just go ahead and iron all 4 sides of your napkin up, the hem allowance that you have. So this could be a 1/2 inch, this could be 1 inch, this could be 2 inches. You can make your hem allowance whatever it is for a mitered corner. The next step is unfolding and ironing again. So let me show you. Now we're gonna open this up and you'll notice all these creases in here. These creases are important for us to follow. So now what we're gonna do is fold right at the point. So we're gonna fold it down and we want the crease over here to line up all the way down on this side. And then on this side, you can see it's lined up with the other crease. And now you want to iron this edge right here. And then when we flip this back, you'll notice this crease here. So now we're gonna unfold this. We're gonna flip our fabric and we wanna place right sides together and we want to line up the edges of our fabric, and I'm making sure that this new crease that I just put in the fabric, that these are lining up. And now what we're gonna do is go over to the sewing machine and we're going to sew in that crease that we just created. Today I'm going to be using the Husqvarna Viking Designer Epic 2. You can use any sewing machine that has a straight stitch on it. So I've got my sewing machine set up on a straight stitch and my needle position is in the center, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sew down that crease. Make sure you back stitch at the beginning and the end. Go ahead and cut, and that's it. We did it! So your mitered corner stitch should look like this. Notice how the stitch is going on an angle. It's following that last crease that we ironed. Next, you want to go ahead and cut off this extra fabric, but make sure you leave a seam allowance. I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut off the extra and leave a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now we're going to take it and turn it right side out and check out our mitered corner. Check that out. We have a mitered corner. Let's go ahead and just poke the end there. Make sure it's nice and crisp. Beautiful. And now we can just go back over to the iron and iron down our 1 inch. So this raw edge that you have here, there's a few different ways you can finish that depending on your project. That could just end up being the seam allowance for inside your sport coat. You could roll it under a 1/4 inch and then top stitch it down. You could also bias bind this edge and then hand stitch it down. There's so many different options for finishing this edge here, but now you have a mitered corner and it's beautiful. Thanks so much for watching Sew Anastasia today. If you have any questions on mitered corners, make sure you leave it down below and I will get back with you as soon as possible. And as always, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Sew Anastasia and Anastasia Chatzka. And I would love to see your sewing projects you're working on. So make sure you tag me on Instagram and Facebook at Anastasia, or shoot me over pictures of your projects in the DMs so I can share them with everybody else. If you're not already a subscriber to Anastasia, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And don't forget, you can give us an applause. And if you want to help Anastasia grow, you can hop on over to Patreon and find all the ways that you can make that happen. And don't forget, you can totally take a virtual sewing class with me or an in-person sewing class that's socially distant. Information for all of that is going to be down below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.